What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday we got some more pretty massive news when it comes to the Call of Duty franchise, and this is coming from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg. And the biggest piece of news here is the fact that it looks like they are in development for the next iteration of Warzone. So Warzone 2, or whatever they're gonna end up calling it. And I just wanted to talk about all of this news and share my thoughts and opinions on it. And kicking it off, the first thing that I wanted to point out before we talk about the whole Warzone 2 situation is it looks like the next two Call of Duty games are essentially set in stone at this point. This upcoming year of Call of Duty is obviously expected to be a sequel to Modern Warfare, since that was such a successful video game. So while this hasn't been officially confirmed anywhere, it's kind of a no-brainer. We're almost definitely going to be seeing a sequel to Modern Warfare 2019. And then after that, in fall of 2023, we are still fully expecting to see a Call of Duty game coming from Treyarch, although it's much too early now to know what that could be. Now, my speculation on this is they're likely going to try to follow suit with what Infinity Ward did by rebooting their most popular franchise, Black Ops. This was incredibly successful on Infinity Ward's part by doing this. You get all that brand recognition, that nostalgia, and I don't think people really want to see a Black Ops 5, or I guess would it be Black Ops 6 since Cold War technically had Black Ops in the name? I don't know, but I don't think people want to see that continue on, and instead I think they'd much rather be seeing a reboot. Now, the reason this news is fairly significant that these next two Call of Duty games are essentially set in stone is both of these are guaranteed to be launching on PlayStation as well as PC and Xbox. Beyond that year for Treyarch, beyond 2023, we don't know exactly what's going to be happening with the Call of Duty franchise. While I don't think this is the case, and I made an entire video about this, it's possible that it could go Xbox exclusive or Game Pass exclusive beyond 2023. And also, there's been a lot of those talks about potentially changing up the release cycle with Call of Duty. So maybe we're going to get a Call of Duty game every 2 years after 2023. We don't really know. All we know so far is it looks like it's locked in until after Treyarch's year. Now, let's get into what I think is the more exciting news with this, and this is the fact that the next iteration of Warzone is apparently in development right now. And honestly, I don't really see this as much of a surprise. I've been talking about this for a while. I often bring this up on stream. A lot of people are wondering, like, what's going to happen for the next several years of Warzone? I really feel like it's been on a pretty big decline lately. It's still incredibly popular, of course, but compared to where it was even just a year ago, I think it is far less popular than it was, and I don't really see that changing unless they launch with something fresh and new, and it looks like that's what their plan is. And the big reason this is a fairly obvious move as well is we can't just keep piling on 50 new guns every year to the same weapon pool. That's way too complex. Nobody can really properly keep track of that, and it's just completely overwhelming. But at the same time, they can't remove the old weapons because people have paid real money for the blueprints, and you can't just straight up remove that from your game. So their only option is to launch with an effectively new title or a new version of Warzone that starts fresh from scratch with none of the content that we currently have in Warzone. It'll be a brand new, fresh start for Warzone. And I think this is actually very exciting. I have completely fallen off Warzone. I have literally zero interest in Warzone. That's why I haven't been covering any Warzone content. I simply don't want to play it. I don't care about it. It means nothing to me anymore. And I've even gotten to the point where I can't force myself to play it and cover it and make content on it, even though I'm taking a massive hit to my revenue this year. I've really just fallen off that bad when it comes to Warzone. So I think an actual fresh start, rather than just piling on more content to the same game we've been playing, will be a very good move. And who knows, they might even completely change the formula. It might be a totally different style of game. We'll just have to wait and see how things play out. But I gotta say, I'm very excited to hear about this. Now, at this point, for this next iteration of Warzone, it is expected to come sometime in 2023, which means not likely right at the launch of the next Call of Duty game. And I think it would be great if they held it back until like February or March or something like that, so we actually get a really good amount of time with the next Call of Duty's multiplayer, with that being highly popular in the Call of Duty community before a lot of them move over to Warzone. Now, additionally, with this next iteration, it's expected that we're going to be seeing a proper next-gen version of the game. It's no longer going to be tied to that Modern Warfare 2019 client. Hopefully, it will have its own client and it won't be attached to the next Modern Warfare that we get later this year. But in either case, it is expected to have proper support for the new generation of consoles. And there's even rumors floating around, unconfirmed rumors, that this may not be available for the previous gen of consoles, so PS4 and Xbox One. Which, I mean, that does have to happen at some point. They do have to start phasing the older consoles out, but it's still extremely difficult to get your hands on one of these new generations of consoles. But then again, we don't know what this year's going to look like for production of those consoles and availability. I'm really hoping that by the end of this year, anybody that wants an Xbox Series X or a PS5 will be able to just go to the store and get their hands on one without too much trouble. In either case, a big thing with this next iteration that is definitely expected is an FOV slider for consoles, and I think what that means, since this is expected to come in 2023, I wouldn't hold your breath for an FOV slider for the current version of Warzone on console. I don't think it's coming at all for this version of Warzone, and on top of that, I actually don't expect to see any ridiculously massive changes with this version of Warzone as well, if they're already in development with their next iteration. Like, I think we're stuck with Caldera for the rest of Warzone unless they decide to bring back the old maps in some capacity as well. But I wouldn't expect to see a brand new map with this version of Warzone. I think we'll have to wait till that next Warzone iteration. As for several other things that I hope will be changing with Warzone 2 or whatever they're going to call it, I think it would be great to see them play around with how loadouts work. Maybe we don't have the same sort of gunsmith system. Maybe something new will come out, something that's even better. Also, I expect entirely new perks and equipment, a total rework to how the game plays in that sense at least, and I think this could be great. I think they've learned a lot of lessons over the years with the current version of Warzone. And I'm just really excited to see them start from scratch, fresh, with a blank slate and build from there. But of course, these are just my thoughts and opinions on the potential for Warzone 2 coming next year. I'd like to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What do you guys think about this? Are you excited for the idea of a brand new Warzone launching sometime next year? And if it does, what is your sort of wish list for Warzone 2? What's missing from the first iteration of Warzone that you would love to see done for Warzone 2? Just let me know those thoughts down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.